everyone. As we all know, like if I want to buy some stuff, like made in England, I probably not easier to get it like 10 years ago. But now I can easily get it from online, and it's way faster than I like 10 years ago. What make it so fast? I think it was globalization. But globalization brings some benefit for us, but in my opinion, like globalization also brings some issues in China. My main claim is the globalization has negative effect in China. It was negative effect Chinese labor, health, and Chinese economies. For my first claim, the globalization like influenced Chinese labor on negative way. The first reason is we always see like made in China in our clothes, but because manufacturing labor cost in China was 4% in United States for 2009, and more cheaper labor available on China in 2007. Factories that supplied more than 1,000 corporations, include Walmart, Disney, was a cost unfair labor practice. They forcing them like working 16 hours per day and just gives them like less than minimum wages. Deposit repair growth the Chinese economy in the last decade. More than 482 million people in China, like almost 36% of the population, lives less than $2 per day. For those families, they have a hard time to keep their daily life. Like you can't imagine, you only have $2 per day. You can, like they have to save money to keep their, they can buy food, and it's hard for them moving up to another class. And for those poor families, they all also like push their children too early to go work. And it makes child labor issues in China also. For example, there have a child boy only like 16 years old. He made only $110 per month. And if government person come to their factory and they got 1 day off. So like actually government doesn't know it. For my second claim, is globalization has a negative effect on health. For a development country, heavy industry was like most important things in there. But they also get, it always make contaminating air that increase morbidity. In 2006, the monitoring of 559 Chinese cities show that there has 37.6% air was not reached the national standard. 35 million of people like respiratory disease because the atmosphere contamination. You can see like all of the people on the street, they all wear the mask that you can see it before like 10 years ago. And another thing is it helps disease faster to spread. With the development of globalization, more and more people traveling around the world, and in 2009, the total numbers of entry exit personnel was 348 million of people, and 43.73 million of people was coming from foreign countries. As we know, like recent event about Ebola, it made more than 4,500 people die in that time. And some people who have this disease, they don't actually know it, and they come to another country, bring it to the area world. I think it's also the spread of disease faster. In my third claim is globalization has blocked the Chinese economy develop. Globalization decreased Chinese manufacturing, although Chinese power generation equipment, the number of machine tools and automotive product in global forefront. But there are still 85% of IC manufacturing equipment, 17% of high-end CNC machine tools, and 100% of auto electronic manufacturing equipment need to rely on import. Chinese become biggest packing country. That the main body of the Chinese high-tech export is foreign, rather than the domestic enterprise. Foreign shares more than 80% on average. The share of the domestic company on average less than 20%. For example, for January to June, Shanghai's company, the high-tech company, they make like $31.126 million, accounting for the city high-tech export was 92.5%. The proportion of the state-owned and private enterprise were only 4.6% and 2.7%. For development country, the more money you make, it will help more, like you get better. But after the globalization, more money goes to another country actually, and block Chinese economy grow up as they want to. Overall, the globalization makes the labor of the China become cheaper and make more. Then this man company become foreign company, and they also push people work more time, get less money on those factory, and makes the Chinese economy become like capital outflow and blocks the economy growth up. It also helps disease increase. Thank you.
Thank you. Organizationally, everything is in good shape. There's a clear claim, a clear setup of what the secondary points are. You label them for the most part as you get to each point. Sometimes the evidence goes by a little bit quick. There were a couple of examples that you used that I didn't quite catch. There's some statistical information and some examples that you use, but I don't always hear source citations for those, and that seemed to be kind of a consistent thing in the argument. I know you got the information from someplace, so you want to make sure that you cite where that information comes from. That last section where you were talking about the profit margins, that was a little bit unclear. I think you might have been trying to pack too much in there, because I think you needed an explanation about how that last argument impacts the point that you were presenting. The first 2 points I think were a lot clearer. All right, I'm kind of keeping it short so we can get in the extra speakers tonight.